All right, today we're diving into a story that really asks what love and courage are all about, especially when they're up against magic, power, and, the huge divides that can keep two worlds completely apart. And this is the question that's really at the heart of the whole thing. We're not just talking about romance here, we're talking about the absolute limit. What will one person endure for a connection that really defies all logic and tradition?
So, our story kicks off in two places that could not be more different: a deep, wild forest and a massive royal palace. And this contrast, well, it's the foundation for everything that's about to happen.
I mean, the gap between our two main characters is just massive. On one side, you've got G2. He's this kind-hearted kid, son of a woodcutter, and his life is all about nature. And honestly, a lot of hardship. And on the other side, Princess Kumud, living a life of royal comfort, weighed down by duty. Their worlds were literally designed to never, ever cross.
But of course they do cross. When Kumud is only 13, she wanders off into the forest and runs right into a 15-year-old G2. And you can just imagine, he's completely in awe of her, and she's really touched by how genuine he is. In that one single moment, this really powerful, unlikely bond is formed between them.
So, as the years go by, that sweet little childhood friendship, well, it blossoms into something way, way more profound. Their secret meetings out in the forest turn into this deep, powerful, and completely forbidden love.
You have to understand, G2 is terrified of even thinking about going to the palace. I mean, he's a woodcutter's son. But with these simple, powerful words, Kumud gives him the courage he needs to cross that line between their worlds. You see, right from the very beginning, she's his source of strength. She's the one pushing back against the boundaries they were born into.
And right when their love is getting deeper, fate steps in. A wise sage appears before Kumud and lays out a prophecy, giving her a choice: an easy life, the royal path, or a really difficult path full of struggle and pain, but it's also the only path that leads to true love. So this isn't just about some pre-written destiny, it's a real choice she's going to have to make herself.
But a secret love this powerful? Well, it doesn't go unnoticed. It's attracted the gaze of something ancient and evil, stirring in the darkest parts of the forest.
So let's talk about Trishna. She's not just some simple villain, she has very specific motives. She sees how pure their bond is, but what she really wants is an ancient power that's hidden deep in G2's bloodline, a power from his ancestors who are the protectors of this very forest, and she's convinced the only way she can get her hands on it is to completely shatter their love.
Then one day, G2 is just walking through the woods, and bam! Trishna makes her move. The wind starts howling, dark magic is swirling all around him, and he's just overcome. The very last thing he does is cry out Kumud's name as he's dragged away into the darkness of the sorceress's lair.
Okay, so with G2 gone, this is where the story completely flips the classic fairy tale on its head. The princess isn't waiting around to be rescued. No, she is becoming the rescuer. That sage's prophecy? It's not some abstract idea anymore. The choice is right now.
The second she learns what happened, Kumud doesn't hesitate for a second. She goes right to the sage and makes her choice, and it is crystal clear. She chooses the path of pain, the path of danger, because it's the path that leads back to G2. Her love for him gives her the strength to face literally anything.
The sage tells her there are two final trials she has to pass. And these aren't just simple obstacles. One is designed to test her mind, and the other, it's going to test her very soul.
So this first test, the test of fear, it's basically a full-on psychological attack. Trishna's magic creates this terrifying black waterfall that shows Kumud her absolute worst fears, horrific illusions of G2 dying over and over again. It's a battle she has to fight inside her own head, and even though she's weeping, she refuses to break. Her love is just stronger than any illusion.
The second trial demands a physical price. She gets to this magical door, and the only way to open it is with an offering of blood. And without a single moment of hesitation, she cuts her own hand, proving she's willing to endure any amount of pain for him.
Finally, she confronts Trishna. The sorceress is just mocking her, right? Asking what a pampered princess could possibly offer for G2's life. And Kumud's response, it's so simple, so absolute, and it just defines her entire journey. She says, "I can even give my own life."
And that right there, that declaration, that ultimate willingness to sacrifice everything, that's the turning point. That is the exact moment the darkness starts to crack, shattering against the pure force of her will.
So in this huge final confrontation, just as Trishna is about to strike the final blow, the sage appears, and that gives Kumud the courage to do the unthinkable. She lunges forward and grabs the sorceress's magical staff. And because her heart is so pure, the dark magic can't touch her. Instead, it just backfires, turning Trishna to solid stone forever.
But, defeating a powerful sorceress was only the magical battle. Now with Jitu safe, she has to go back to the palace and fight the societal one, her own father, and centuries of royal tradition that say their union is impossible.
And the king is furious, just as you'd expect, calling their love impossible. But the sage, who's seen everything she's gone through, speaks this profound truth to him. He explains that a love that's been proven through that much sacrifice is worth more than any crown, any kingdom.
And this moment, this is what the whole story has been building to. Seeing his daughter's incredible courage and really hearing the sage's wisdom, the king's heart just softens. He finally gets it. He understands the depth of their bond, and against all tradition, he gives them his blessing.
So in the end, their love didn't just beat a sorceress or overcome tradition. It actually transformed the world around them. It goes to show that a real act of courage and true love, well, it can echo forever, even in the silence of a forest.